Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Sorry my videos have been kind of sporadic lately, but life has been kicking me in the teeth, and over the next month it's going to be even worse while I have things to get done at work. So make sure you hit that subscription button and turn on the bell notification to know when I put up a video. But for now, we're going to be talking about our unpopular opinion concerning the Diablo 4 beta. I'm not really going to edit the video. I'm just going to let it go ahead and play raw up above so that you guys can see basically what I was doing the entire time. And there's a lot of things about the beta I'm not going to go over. This isn't a comprehensive review of the beta. This is going to be a consumer point of review on the things that I'm concerned about when I played the beta. And there are quite a few of them. Although we do know that Blizzard is going to be the AAA company that they normally do and smooth things out on launch, there's still few issues that have my concern that make me feel like the title's going to release buggy and then they'll finish it along the way. That seems like the normal for today's video games because, you know, they all release buggy and then they fix them along the way for live service games. But the more that we discuss things about Diablo, the more that I've learned that there are just things about it that I had issues with. And the biggest thing I have to start with is the price point to which you're going to get into this game. The price points are basically $80, $90, and $100, give or take $10. I don't have it memorized for the pricing right off the bat. But then they're also going to have a battle pass. In a great many ways, the game feels like this is what they intended for a mobile title, which is the reason why it has a battle pass. So you're looking at like $100 to $150 investment to play this game, which is, you know, Escape from Tarkov level. Over the years, we have all seen that Blizzard games are starting to take their toll on how their quality when it comes to production, and this can be evident clearly in this beta. And before anybody screams, "This is a beta! This is a beta!" When you're Blizzard Activision, your beta should not run like you're an independent developer that is coding for the first time. There was constant network hitching. There were invisible walls that would block you from leaving town. A lot of this is expected in betas with the majority of the player base, but for me, it just did not come off as a good experience when it came to how smoothly the game played. It was not smooth at all for me. In a great many of places, coming in and out of town was probably the worst, but we'll have to see what it is when it's launched. There were a lot of complaints about balancing issues, but I have an opinion on the balancing issues. The rogue was completely overpowered and was able to solo the world tier boss in a world first, and I don't know why people were doing world first in betas, but that's neither here nor there. And then you had druids, which were severely underpowered. But I believe that these were being caused, well, the rogue is overpowered regardless, but the druid, I believe, is very dependent on gear sets. But as we discussed in my chat on my live streams, which are Friday through Tuesday every week at 8 p.m. Central, what is the point of having a class that's dependent on gear sets if the beginning of the game it doesn't feel good to you? Like the game has to be fun from forward to backwards. And vice versa, and have enough playability in either to get your money's worth. And if you're playing a class that isn't fun until the end game, then that just kind of defeats the purpose. That pretty much sums up the bugs and the balancing issues that we noticed during the beta, but I don't put a lot of faith into those because it is a beta and they'll do severe adjustments before the game releases. But my main issue I have to take with it is the battle pass. The price point that are coming into this game, as we discussed earlier, it just makes the game feel like it's more catered towards the elite or the 1% that want to play the game and want to play the end game, because at $100 investment, I feel like I have to sink a lot of time into it. You don't do $100 game for something that you're going to play on a semi-regular basis or even a casual basis for the gameplay. It just feels way catered to the end game and to people that will be playing this as a main game all the time, because I just can't justify the price point. I can't. I know that we're in the age of inflation, and I know that developers want to get paid, and that's perfectly acceptable, but this price point tends to tip over from the same price point, like I said earlier, from Escape from Tarkov. I did invest the money in Escape from Tarkov, and that's the reason why I won't do it in another title. Paragon points have been replaced with this new blood sacrifice deal. Basically, you put points into a node with your own blood, and it extends out and gives you more nodes to work with. And I can understand them capping the game at level 25, but it just felt a little too short, and the amount that you were able to get done in 25 levels just seemed to be kind of boring, to be honest. Which means that the grind itself up to 70 will be boring until people learn the fast routes to get through them. The game is very heavily inspired by Diablo 2, which I also don't have an issue with, except it even as a new game, it still feels kind of dated when it comes to the UX design for it. But, you know, some people are going to love that. I personally didn't. The thing that was mostly disappointing to me was that you can set it to the hardest mode and world tier that is available and blow through it with no problem. There was no real fight there. I never felt like I was truly in danger. There were some moments where I was like, ooh, you know, I'm about to die, but I'd never died once the entire 25 levels in the game, which just seemed a bit odd to me. I didn't bother with the hardcore mode because hardcore mode is really used for seasonal play, and we don't have the season available. It was just a beta, so I didn't even bother to test it or even look at it. Overall, the game is aesthetically beautiful. It's probably one of the most beautiful Diablos I've ever seen. Outside of the UX design, everything else seemed great. Like the environment design was beautiful. The cutscenes, like normal with Blizzard, are outstanding. The intro for you into the world didn't really seem to make a whole lot of sense, but then the story sort of progressed from there. So my overall opinion of the game is I believe it's going to be your standard Blizzard title. It's going to have great cutscenes. The environment's going to look great, and it will eventually play great whenever they fix all the stuttering issues and invisible walls issues. But I just can't get behind the price point. That is my major argument to this game, is I can't get behind the price point. I'm going to let some video footage play above so that you guys can see what the gameplay is like, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And if you like some more of this content, then hit the subscription button and hit the bell notification to know when I put up a new video. Thank you guys very much for being here. Remember to tell your loved ones you love them often. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. They say, you know, spend their money on that, right? Or not spend their money on it. And that's one way you can do it. I'm not downing people who do that. But really, the best way to do change when it comes to any of those items is not by speaking with your wallet, because people will buy it anyways. That's a losing battle. It's by creating a voice and letting that voice be heard. And in today's society, that voice is heard through social media. And that's the reason why content creators are so important to what we do, because they literally will spend the time and the effort to look at those things and give honest feedback, and developers should work with that. And that would save companies millions on quality assurance to some degree, but they can't depend on it entirely as an opinion for quality assurance. They still have to do some testing, but that's what they're lacking, is they're not doing that testing. So we're getting more and more expensive games, less and less testing, because they're depending more on public opinion than actual development, and that's sad. Isolated Fear's game just crashed. When you want to play a game, yeah. I mean, I weighed those options, right? Just like you, Drass, and I don't have anything against anybody wanting to take that route. That's your choice, right? That's, to me, that there's nothing to take away for that. I just find that the power of voice is is probably a louder option than my wallet, because my wallet stands for $70, but unless you can organize millions of people to not buy the game, it's easier to speak, right? So, can people just reconnect?
I don't know.
Let's see, accept. Isolated Fear has accepted. I have accepted Isolated Fear.
Out long run.
Bro, I fuck with this one. This one is cool. It's like outside.
Pull the lever, Crunk. Let's see. Like Shadowlands non-deluxe, I think was $50, and it got the WAD treatment. And that expansion is just being compared to WAD as potentially one of the worst expansions. Let's see.
That's pretty bad.
With DLC access, you can now purchase old play paid for factions individually, and you get access to Immortal Empires map regardless of owning your first and second games. Speaking with the wallet hurts when I want to. Yeah. Okay, I caught up. I wonder if there'll be ice hideouts.
What's the name of the new expansion? I forgot just that quick, and I've been playing this shit. That's funny.
Dragonfly.
Yeah, Dragonfly was dope. I feel like Dragonfly was worth the price.
Is there an option to remove the errors from the screen like in Diablo 3? Like where it says you're out of mana?
No idea.
Thought I would ask in case somebody happened to have did it.
Yo, I got bogeys over here.
Things are actually challenging to some degree. They're not like hard, but
Well, we're also in a 4 group. If you're doing this by yourself, they wouldn't have this much health. One at chest down here.
Yo.
You getting your ass kicked or something? All me.
I did go into this cave, right?
So you were able to rejoin us?
Yeah, I'm still going. I just don't know where the hell you're at.
You're not able to teleport to us?
I don't know how to do that.
Should be able to right click one of us on the right.
No, I tried that earlier.
Okay, so is it not still marked on the map with a pin?
Called
Well, there was some kind of not cave, but it just took me to another outside.
Yeah, the dungeon is an outside dungeon.
Outside dungeon. Yep, you're here. Yep. Caltrops are dope.
They were showing the map like you hadn't discovered the area yet. That's why I was concerned of putting it right away.
Oh, gotcha. It's individual to you.
Well, yeah, a lot of it was, but again, I had already been in here.
Let's see. Dragonflight is slowly going downhill for class design. They're getting Shadow Priests. A bunch of the tier set bonus and 10.1 are really mediocre or bad in comparison to the Vault tier. I kind of miss playing WoW, to be honest, but I can't go back to it. It would consume me. We've already discussed this before.
Here on me.
I would go back on one.
What's that?
You know the condition.
What now?
You said you know the condition.
I don't, but if it's something like, we can just get that over here. It's fine.
Yeah. Tuberculosis.
You should make yourself evolve.
No.
This.
Can't mute myself.
Ooh, that one got a socket on it.
There wasn't even a wait. What do you mean that was the end? That's the end of the dungeon?
There's no way, dude. Well,
We didn't
looks
even
like
we didn't
it.
even kill a big boss.
We completed the objective.
Alright, I am traveling.